RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for this lovely morning, Pat Scorpio, the representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do? It's Shuttleworth the God, aka the GOAT Artist, aka LB Lauderdale Boss, Soul Wars Creator, RingGangRadio.com in the building.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. You know, as always, man. You know, that's the GOAT Artist right there. You know, so y'all think your artwork and anything is up to par? You know, step to that man right now and challenge him. And I bet you he beat you, and it'll be like a 12-0 type of victory, if not a knockout. You know what I'm saying?
They ain't got enough artwork for me, man. They ain't got enough, man. We can choose divisions. What y'all want? Welterweight? Y'all want heavyweight? Y'all want mythical matchups? What y'all niggas want?
You know what I'm saying? Though we'll even spot you. We even spot you the weight. You know, it doesn't even matter. Nothing like that.
Spot you the weight. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my man will take on all comers. You dig? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if your artwork is up to par, tag us, man. You know, yeah, we waiting, man.
Twitter boxing artwork versus started.
Yeah, and if you're an established entity, you know, that's been off this man before, and there are a couple, yeah, you know, you might want to send that contract or whatever and pay this man too, you know, for keeping your job in check. You know, that's real. That's
just the artwork. We just getting started, nigga.
No doubt.
Pretty soon, when this season, Ring Gang, the animated series is over, we gonna be like, man, put them cartoons up.
Fact.
Like, who got better cartoons? Fuck it. Like,
exactly.
I'll put the podcast up against anybody. Like, fuck it. Like, that ain't the only thing we got. Like, we don't grew, man.
Yeah, like I said, there's no creativity. Creativity is never stifled over here, man. We stay come up with some new shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, because Ring Gang is a squad, man. Like we got things, man. You know, real talk. So y'all just need to get on this. Keep staying on this wave. If you're new, get on the wave, man. You know, tell your friends, man. Sub to us, man. You know, we promise we don't
get them likes up. Get them likes up.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the likes up.
Get them subs up. Get them subscribers up.
Yes, sir.
Followers up. All that shit.
Yeah, so I think this morning it'll be us two, you know, the rest of the squad, you know, they doing their own thing, you know, shout out to Pilot, shout out to P, you know, P got jabbed up, you know, a little bit, so he's a little bit under the weather, but that's all right, though, you know, he's still holding us down, and shout out to the rest of the squad, too, you know, DZ, Prolific, Clanarchy, Rome, and all of them, like, you know, and PJ, the fight architect, you know. So yeah, we gotta do this. We do this to Pilot. And Pilot too. Yeah, can't forget Pilot. And we were just talking to Pilot earlier.
Yeah, we brought it back to like the OG, like the 2018, like.
Yes, sir. You know,
this back to back. There's just me and Big Pat over here now.
Yeah, you know, Dog Pound, Daz and Corrupt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what his dad's doing to Young Gotti. Yes, sir.
It's been a long time since heard of us nigga dancing. Young Gotti Corrupt, and now we back with a little shine. Can't stop and quick cause we on the grind.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's
the DPG.
can't fuck with it, can you?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We had to grow, nigga. It was like 2 of us, 4 of us, then like 5, then 6, 7, 8, and now it's 9. So
now it's 9. You know, that's still righteous number if you know your lessons. Yo, word is bond.
Yeah. Still growing.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, we said, you know, we gotta get out here. We're going to discuss, you know, some of the cards, you know, the 2 cards from this past weekend. One card which was actually, you know, good boxing, you know, and we'll talk about that one first, you know, from Top Rank. You know, and for once it was good to not have a mid card, you know, because
God, oh my goodness.
Too much fucking mid.
Too many mid cards back to back in boxing lately. Like, it was beginning to be like 1 for 5, 1 for 4, like.
Right? Yeah, and like I said, and me and LB, we're hardcores, but even we have our own. We have a tolerance level. Listen, just like every casual, everyone else, are like, and a lot of the cats, especially our fellow members of the box and social media and stuff like that, we were all saying the same fucking thing. We needed a card that wasn't fucking mid. You know what I mean? It was
people could actually. He's not a predetermined victory. It's a matchup that has some type of significance. Somebody could lose.
Right.
The upset could happen. Like a solid fucking card. And I don't know, man. Like I don't know what it is with Top Rank. Like I criticize them hard. I criticize everybody hard, fucking. Mm-hmm. But Top Rank seems to know how to deliver when you need them to.
No, absolutely. Even though, obviously, and this was reiterated all through the night. The card. The card should have happened. Just shouldn't have the main event happen. But and we'll definitely get into that in a few. But yeah, you're right. Like if we're up and down. Like if you watch the prelims, like there was knockouts on that shit. There was some really good knockouts on that shit. And from Xander Zaya, from Giron to Aguilar, they did their thing. Was it
action fights? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like Top Rank, they come through like when it's like when no one else around, like everybody done counted them out. Cause just like last year with the pandemic, like they were the only ones who was kind of feeding us boxing in the beginning of the summer.
They were, and they held it. Yeah. And they definitely and they delivered the fight of the year too, as well as that. So like, it was great. They did their thing.
And now they kind of broke the mid curse.
They did, and it was big.
I feel like boxing is gonna go back to normal a little bit now.
Yeah, as long as there's no more of these cancellations here and all that COVID shit. Like honestly, and then for the card, for people who have those big cards, like. If you have fight now, obviously I know it's a choice with the vaccination. But if you got fighters on the line, that are making millions of dollars, that didn't make millions of dollars, or even high six figures, like y'all need to really take some precautions. You know what I mean?
Look, man, just have some alternates. Even if you don't want to get vaccinated, just have alternates available. Like,
absolutely,
put some training camp money aside for someone who's near the division or around it that is certified, who will give a good fight.
Yeah.
Might pull off the upset. Who knows? Fuck. Because a lot of these cancellations, they be having someone else come in there and they're the better fighter. Shit.
And that's what TR did with the bubble. Like the bubble, for better or for worse, it worked. It absolutely worked because they were on point for most of those bubble cards. So PBC or Golden Boy or Matchroom, y'all need to do that. Like if you have fighters that don't want to get jabbed up, outside of the ring, make sure you take them precautions, man. That's your money on the line.
Get some alternatives. Have them in the same have them in a training camp, or make them sure they training. They on point. They weights on point, and they just step in. But had an alternate from the get go though.
Absolutely, yeah. So they're actually training.
Seem as a last replacement. It'll look like a last replacement, but in reality, the alternate was ready from the get-go.
Hell yeah!
That's how I would do shit, and they still get paid,
Yeah, and TR did that shit, lovely last year. That was the blueprint, and it did work. So y'all just need to get in line and just follow that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So we end up some fucking decent cards, shit. But anyways, back to this shit. It was a good fucking
Yeah, and so the prelim
from Top Rank.
Yeah, like the main event of the prelim though, was a rare flyweight title defense between Juto Nakatani and Angel Acosta. Now this is rare too because you don't see usually when you see flyweights throw punches a mile a minute, but they're not necessarily known as the bigger punchers. These two are huge punchers at their weight, especially Acosta. Like dude has like a 93% KO rate, and that's rare to see at flyweight. So that shit was already we're anticipating. Plus, Acosta happens to be a Miguel Cotto fighter. I'm not a fan of Miguel Cotto. How the fight played out, I kind of smiled a lot. Shit.
Damn.
But what was established early is Nakatani. And one thing about Japanese fighters versus Puerto Ricans or Mexico, like you get a clash styles, and sometimes that clash is like it's an entertaining clash. And Nakatani established his shit early, a jab, and because he's a southpaw, I believe, and on left hand broke Acosta's nose early. And boxing, like I mean, it's common for a broken nose to happen in the fight. But what's not common was the doctors, going crazy in the corner. It's like, hey, like this dude is bleeding a lot. And it probably had a lot to do because it was like 100 degrees out there where they were in Tucson, But a bloody nose isn't that bad. That's what you have a corner for. You gotta let them actually do some work. You know what I'm saying? It's only bad when the fighter can't breathe. But if the fighter is like, okay, yeah, I can continue to do this shit, let him, until he's either swallowing too much blood or he's saying he can't breathe. Acosta seemed like he was fine, but after that one, Acosta was just like, Acosta, he tried, man. He tried, he tried, he tried to make something happen, though. Nakatani, every punch was just, you see blood just pouring out of that dude's nose. Like the whole ring was just like was a crimson mass. Like all the trunks were stained or whatever. In the corner, the doctors was like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you one more round." And it starts bleeding, and it's just like, God damn, just let him try it. But in the fourth round, once Nakatani had that nose bleeding again, the ref just like, yeah, no, that's it. We got to call this shit off. And I mean, I can say you can err on the side of caution for this, but it's just rare that you see a fight being called off because of a broken, bloody nose. Like it doesn't really happen all that often. Now there are fighters who will stop themselves with a broken nose if they can't breathe, but a doctor stopping it for a broken nose is rare. I can't even tell you the last time I even seen that, if at all. I don't know about you. Have you ever seen that before, LB?
Yeah, that's super rare. I'm trying to remember, like maybe late HBO After Dark, late 90s, early 2000s. It's rare. Like you said, usually the boxer, they would say themselves they can't breathe, and that's they would kind of retire, surrender themselves.
Right.
It's rare to see a doctor say, "Look, man, this guy's nose." I don't even want to say, throw out any names in there, throw out any names, because I feel like I would be wrong. It's that rare.
Right. It's very rare.
It's more like, I'll be honest. If you was to say, boxers throwing themselves out of the ring happens more often.
Facts. That's super facts.
Boxers getting knocked out of the ring happens more often. I could name like fights off them. Okay, damn, hold on. Yeah, cause now I gotta put myself to the test now. I feel like Spartacus, like, well, you brought it up, you gotta name it now.
Yeah, or like niggas that just
didn't Lahovich, what's his name? He got put through the ropes, right, by Shannon Briggs.
He did.
Okay, Rockman did too.
Yeah, Rockman. Yep. And of course, we can't forget Spintron and the Punisher.
Yeah. No, he jumped through the ropes though.
nigga thought he was a luchador that day.
Category.
Nigga thought he was Rey Mysterio or some shit that day.
Yeah, so you see, we able to name that because that happens, but the motherfucking doctor stopping a broken nose, like, nah. That's you'll get 2 draws on a card before that happens.
Facts. Seriously. But honestly, the fight though, for the 4 rounds that lasted, it was good shit because those cats were throwing hard, and each of them had their moment in the fight though. But yeah, unfortunately, a broken nose stop it, and Nakatani retained his flyweight title, and Acosta, I mean, I could tell, like, I mean, most of the crowd, I mean, they were booing, but they were booing because they wanted to go on, and then Cotto himself was looking with that silly look on his face. Like, you can never tell if he's happy or sad or whatever, though, but, he was just sitting there looking, I think, because, his fighter got stopped again, unfortunately, for him, But yeah, that culminated the whole prelims though. It was entertaining, little warm up, for the two fights on the main card. and I just see that my man King P, he kind of made it. Although I'm pretty sure, he might be a little bit limited in terms of what. But P, how you feeling, bruh?
Man, I feel like I took multiple headbutts from a prime Evander Holyfield, but I'll make it. I'll make it.
No doubt, bro. Yeah, I'm saying, just make sure you drink your OJ and take your zinc, man. And just pipe in when you can. You know what I'm saying, bro? But we definitely appreciate you joining us this morning on this glorious first NFL Sunday and everything.
This nigga was not gonna let the podcast go and not speak his piece on the Valdez and Flores and
this will be my
card.
Yeah, this will be my Michael Jordan fluger with that.
Yeah, and you know what?
Dude, a fallout right afterwards, but he's gonna get his piece off. Like, nah.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
I knew he would show up.
Yeah, that's definitely a segue. Obviously, we had Gabriel Flores, someone who I've actually met before, him and his father, cool peoples too, against Luis Alberto Lopez, who was a couple fights removed from upsetting another top-ranked prospect, and Andy Vences, who also fought this weekend as well.
And didn't do too.
Yeah, he didn't do too well, but at least that one.
Yeah.
But Lopez actually beat the shit out of Vences in this one, in that fight. And that was one of those underrated bubble fights too that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
So most of us were thinking, okay, Flores, Flores will just do his thing, and it will probably be, he'll probably win by a decision because Lopez is kind of cheek tough. But a couple things happened in that fight that that kind of changed all that. Number one, Lopez, had a rhythm that Flores could not time. Flores also could not take being walked down. He couldn't, he couldn't find his back foot all that much. But since he couldn't do that, he was moving too much, and what he was also doing was dropping his hands, and Lopez kept on timing him with an overhand right.
Nah, he always drop his hands. That's the thing. Look, man, Flores spoiled on the vine, but I think it more so happened in training.
Right. Yeah, and because it was mentioned before.
Habits.
Yeah, because it was mentioned before. I mean, Bradley was, I think, mentioned before. He asked Gabriel Flores, like, have you been working on your strength training? And Flores, he said, yeah, no, I do a little bit here and there. You don't really want to hear that, from a fighter.
AKA no.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. And
he's not one of those, Juan Baby Bull Diaz type of guys who doesn't look strong but is strong.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, he doesn't look strong and he's not really physically strong. Like, and he's 21, like.
Yeah, I mean, at first when he was fighting, I was like, we were waiting for his man strength, and it happens, like, if you find that young, sometimes you gotta wait for your man strength to kick in. But
which doesn't kick into around like 24, 25. But
yeah, though, but I mean,
at least the tail end of 22.
Yeah,
but you speed up the process if you start lifting it though.
Yeah. Or at least do something. Because I've done.
It don't even look like he do push-ups.
I mean, I'm against boxers lifting, but there are other ways to do it without lifting, doing heavy lifting.
Yeah, and then,
you don't have to do no heavy lifting, but you should be able to do some bicep curls, some bench press, like the standard shit,
like push-ups, pull-ups. Like, I mean, there's I used to do a whole bunch of calisthenics. I know you can do this shit.
You can lift and box. Like, that's that old school where you'll never, you can't generate power.
No, my gym is like that. My coach is old school like that. He don't want you touching weight.
Nah, you need some type of weights.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it, but usually the old school people, like, if they want to do it, obviously, you chop wood or shit like that, and or do push-ups.
Like, the only thing I would do was move the tire.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like Flores.
But see, that's still lifting. It's just natural, like.
Yeah, it's natural move, but Flores doesn't look like he does that, and so
he don't even look like he do push-ups. Like look at his shoulders, like his arms, his chest, like.
Like bro was built like me in high school, and I was like 165. Like like I didn't have no build like that until I actually lifted.
Well, it showed in the fight. It looked like he faltered under pressure.
Yeah, and the funny thing too is Lopez is the smaller fighter. That's what made it worse in the optics. Flores was clearly bigger than dude, and Lopez was just bullied to death.
It's the boxing habits. Like, look, Pat, both of y'all been in boxing gyms. Like, Flores, you take one look at him, he's easily one of those kids who overly relies on speed and being the faster guy.
Right.
They're a dime a dozen down here. They call it the hands down style down here. A lot of Cubans teach it in the boxing gyms. You fight with your lead hand down and you throw a lot of up jabs, and basically everything is done off you being faster than your opponent.
Right.
And a lot of them, they don't learn how to fight with their hands up.
Yeah.
So, if they can't be faster than someone, or somebody gets their timing down or breaks their rhythm, they get walked down. It's like they don't even have the endurance to keep their left hand up.
And the worst thing too, and there's another thing too, is he doesn't know how to clinch either. Like,
yes, and Bradley made a good point about, you could get your skills to a certain level, and he said he wasn't hitting hard. He knew he wasn't punching hard, or he had bad punching technique. That's why he got physically strong. So like Bradley said, in the commentary, if he wanted to tie you up, he would fucking tie you up.
Yeah. And you know
your limitations, and I think that's what's gonna take Flores to realize, like, look, you may not have something, but you gotta you gotta bring something else up to counteract this flaw that you have.
And it was wild because Lopez, after the 10 rounds, he didn't even look like he got hit. That was the most surprising part. I was like, God damn, like this nigga look like he can still fight again like tomorrow.
Shit looked like a Floyd fight.
Yeah, and Lopez was talking to that dude too. Like Lopez started handing out a beating, and he was talking to dude too.
Flores? They said Flores said he was running his mouth leading up to the fight. Dude was too small, yada yada, and dude beat his ass. Honestly, they could have stopped that fight too.
Yeah, especially in round 9 where Flores was taking some crazy shots, like flush shots. Like I don't know, like the ref failed. Because I think the ref was just
everybody failed that one.
Yeah, ref was like, God damn, these niggas are throwing, Let me see how this plays out.
And then it's like the ref failed, the son failed, the dad failed.
Yeah. Like I said, Flores Senior is a stand-up guy. Don't get he's a real stand-up guy though. But he should have knew that he should have saved his son for another day. Like he should have just pulled him out of that fight.
I think he was, but then his son fucking was on some like, nah, let me go in there. Like, remember, he fought his dad to go back in there and fight. He didn't want to be stopped.
Yeah, he sure did.
And but that's the thing. It's like, who's the father, who's the son, and who's the trainer? Like,
yeah, it's just like
he gotta it's like he ain't put his foot down as a father or the trainer.
Right, and then he goes out in the 10th round, and he still caught. It wasn't as bad as the beating in the 9th round, but he still caught some shots he shouldn't have took.
Dude, the fight was over by the 7th, 8th round.
It was like his eyes.
Flores was never coming back into that fight.
Yeah,
He didn't have no answers. He fucking getting walked down. Look, you the faster guy. Like, you got the faster hands. Keep your left hand up and jab from the top. Punches fly off faster than it coming from your waist. Simple little shit like that, but dude was already in his habit, and Lopez was just walking him down, winging shots at him, setting him up. He was putting him in traps, hitting him out of the traps, hitting him back into the traps.
Yeah, it was
punch.
It was disturbing to watch. I didn't like watching that fight.
Career changing beating to me.
Yeah, because it's one of those fights where Flores either has to make some real changes in his camp, or there's gonna be more nights like this. The blueprint is now there for him, for other people, for future opponents.
He fought somebody who wasn't impressed with that speed, and who had some poise in him, who wanted to win.
not.
I don't know. I don't know if he's the guy that's gonna, make those changes because he seems like a stubborn guy. Like when you were saying,
the level of denial.
He was fighting. When he was fighting with it, with his dad about staying in. I could tell. Okay, this guy's a hard-headed, stubborn fighter.
Yeah.
So.
yeah. That interview was a whole bunch. It was denial. Like all day. Like
they should have never interviewed him. I was like, oh my god, take the camera from this nigga face, please.
Yeah. Like there was just a whole bunch of excuses and denial. I'm like, yo, if Lopez
embarrassing himself.
Yeah, because the next if he fights Lopez again, if he wants to run it back, Lopez will probably KO him this time.
Oh no, please. I don't even care if this kid gets better. But I don't care how better the kid might improve. Mm-hmm. Just keep him away from Lopez. That's one of those fights where you're just not gonna get that
bad fit. That bad fit.
Yeah.
It was that bad. This ain't one of those where you could run Rodriguez and Sims back.
Mm-hmm.
You could run certain fights back, but this one,
this ain't the one.
Nah, that's like if niggas are like, man, you know what? I think we really need to see David Reed and Trinidad again. I think we need to see Vargas and Trinidad one more time. Like nah, bro.
Yeah, that was just too much. It was too much of an ass whooping for.
Nah. Them niggas who was like, man, we need to see Derevyanchenko and Triple G run it back.
Yeah. Some fights don't need to be run back.
Some fights you just don't. You just gotta just take it and move on, bro.
Or even just probably the best example of that in recent years with Bradley and Provatnikov. You got classic fight, but a second fight never happened. Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Provatnikov was having too many classic fights with everybody. He has a classic with Herrera, fucking Alvarado, Algieri.
Yep,
he has classic fights who ain't even supposed to have classic fights.
Absolutely, yeah. Herrera especially, goodness, yeah. I mean, so it's like,
classic ugly spoiling fights, maybe.
Nah, we don't call spoiling ugly fights classic around here. Nah.
But Flores Lopez, man, like it was a good fight, but it was a fight that just went on like 3 rounds too long, and it was definitely a career trajectory change for Flores, and he's gonna have to really really have to think deep of what he wants to do going forward.
How old is he again?
How old is 21.
Man, that's the thing you hate to see, because beatings like that can kind of take some years off your damn. Like, he took a beating, so 21. When you take beatings like that, 21 turns to 28 real quick.
Facts, absolutely.
Shit, like honestly, like this might stun his growth, like physically and mentally. Like it was that bad. Like I don't know if
realistically, his growth was kind of already stunted before the fight. Like what we said, he was spoiling on the vine, so then beating makes it even worse.
Yeah, because I don't know if he was in that much denial. Like, he needs a whole revamp with the training. Like, yeah, he really took I don't like how they was kind of getting on the whole father-son dynamic on ESPN. Because for every father dynamic son shit that go bad, you got good ones too. But
no, absolutely. But yeah, it's one of those ones because
it just look bad in this situation to me.
Yeah, I mean,
it's weird to me because if anybody should know you the best, it's your father.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for them to shit on it, I just looked at it like everybody failed because the ref could have stopped it. And these niggas could have got into the ring and stopped it. No one had a towel available. Like,
the doctor should have definitely stopped it. Like,
and Flores and he being old enough, he's 21. Like, he's an adult his damn self. Like, he should know what type of ass whooping he's been taking. Like,
yeah, like there's a whole. Yeah, I mean, pretty much a lot of people should have. Who have the ability to stop the fight just didn't stop the fight, and it was terrible. Like, you should. It was, and that's what made it look bad. So I mean, hopefully Flores can recover and get his mind right. I mean, take a real. I mean, obviously don't even go back in the ring until probably next year, honestly, because he needs to really.
Yeah, this year's a wrap, bro. Like,
yeah, for him, like he needs to think about some. He needs to work on some stuff. Like,
hit some fucking weights.
Yeah.
Honestly, like he should be. Like he should come back at like what 135 or something.
Right. something. Because I mean, if he continues, if he doesn't make any changes, his career is going to be shortened like drastically. But
I mean, I don't know the guy, but he kind of came off a little disrespectful for me to even feel sympathy for him, though.
I mean, I think he's
I feel you. No, I agree. It's not. I don't even think we're showing sympathy. We're just keeping it real, honestly.
I'm just doing it because I've met both of them. I've sat down. I've drank with both of them. Or not Florida because he wasn't legal back then, but with Senior. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they're good people, but I think it's just more or less. It's just this is their first setback, and so we just have to see how they bounce back from it. So
yeah, because the son did come off, stubborn as fuck, and I think, and it kind of made the dad look bad because everybody's looking at the dad like, oh, you didn't throw it in the towel for him, but it's like, y'all forget the son was about to fight them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, if you want to see like a father who really be taking control, look at Zab's dad, Yoel. Like Yoel used to keep Zab in line when Zab used to be going off the rails and shit like that because he wasn't playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of different when your dad's a black belt and a kickboxing champion. Absolutely,
and all that shit.
Absolutely, yeah.
And your pop still trained with you and he young looking and moving,
but
I'll whoop your fucking ass.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That type of authority that, but I think it's just more or less, I mean, both Senior and Junior both have a lot they can improve on as trainer and fighter. You know what I'm saying? We just hope they can actually do it going forward.
It's gonna take both of them, even if they split up, man. I would hate for them to split up over this shit. I think they could both bounce back, but it's got to start within Junior.
Yeah, the man in the mirror shit.
Someone's got to show him that fight. Like, look, man, because his dad getting shitted on like that, and he's the one. And the thing is, if his dad would have stopped it, he would have been hating it. So it's like, it's one of those dirty games where you can't win. Like,
right, cannot win.
Yeah, I hope he, rebounds. But the writing was on the wall. And credit to Lopez for taking advantage of it. Shit,
absolutely.
That's how you fucking make a name for yourself in a fight. Like,
yeah, I mean, another upset. So I mean, hopefully, do get steered towards a title shot really soon because he kind of deserves one now. Like, I mean, give him a good, or at least not touch, or at least give him a shot in a bigger fight. Because dude, whether it's at featherweight or at 130, because I mean, dude is a featherweight. So,
Flores took a beating. Like in that one fight at 21 years old, I've seen Flores take more punishment than I would say Pacquiao's last 3-4 fighs.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
That's crazy, right? Like,
yeah, that's crazy to say. And it's not even cap either.
And look who he's fought too. Like,
yeah,
definitely. Like, man,
killers. Yeah, like legit killers. So it's like, yeah. I mean, like I said, we just hope
having that at 21, bro. Like, fix that ASAP.
Yeah. And someone else who also needs to fix something in this camp is one Oscar Valdez, who
fuck boy,
who faced Robson Conceicao, in a title fight that should have never been. But we've already talked about this on the WBC and the fuckery regarding that, so I won't rehash that. But P, let us some bars, bro. What did you think about what went down in this fight?
Be good. Let me get my bodega pack.
Nah, I think this fight was fucking bullshit. Fuck Valdez. We shouldn't have got the fight, but we got the fight. I'm like, okay, well, let's make something of it. And this motherfucker looks like the Valdez that I remember. Oh yeah, that guy. Fuck him.
Man, that's the one thing I was telling LB. It's like, yo, Valdez was basic as fuck.
Like I'd always said, because I know other people that have like hyped up Valdez, and I never saw it in him. Like, no, he's all right, he's good, but I don't see him as a top guy. And then more fights go on, and more fights keep showing me, okay, you know what? I don't think this guy has it. And then he fucking has the one fight, the last Burchelt fight, and he shows that he could be that guy. And now all this bullshit after it now that makes me like, oh, you know what? Fuck that, because how do I know you wasn't cheating in the Burchelt fight? And then you look fucking terrible against, I always forget how to fucking say it.
It's like
I always forget how to say it.
It's because
he won the first 5 rounds. He won the first 5 rounds easy.
Easy. Yeah.
With a jab. The jab.
And imagine that the jab, for sometimes people like to, think about, the jab ain't shit. He knows that jab. Like, that's
literally all he needed was a jab, and by the fucking 7th round, his face was all fucking marked up.
Yeah, exactly. There ain't no step in. Like, if you develop a jab, you go far in boxing, people. Message. You know what I mean?
And then it was like, Valdez is like, he's winging shots. He's like, okay, like he doesn't look good at all. At all.
Right, but where it changed and where Conceicao made a huge mistake is he started playing with Valdez, and he shouldn't have done this. Like, this is where it's like he was all he had to do was fight out there, but either he was gassing or whatever. But dude was thinking.
I think he gassed a little bit. I do think he slightly gassed a bit.
Yeah, and he started bullshitting a little bit too much. I was like, yo,
Valdez did hit his body a couple good times.
He did.
I think it was the pressure of having to perform on that level for so long was burning him out. Because he wasn't throwing a crazy amount of punches, but he was throwing a good amount. Like, he was throwing a decent amount. Like, he was working a lot harder than Ugas was against Pacquiao for the first 6 rounds.
Yeah, like, I mean,
if we want to be honest, because remember, Pacquiao Ugas was a lot closer, and that's credit to, and that shows levels, because he was saying, that just shows levels in between Pacquiao and Valdez, how Pacquiao was at least keeping the fight close and competitive. Like, it was at least a tie in the first 6 rounds, whereas Valdez and his opponent, it was more like 4-2, 5-1.
Yeah, like and like all it was either a 1-2 or a 1-1-2, and Valdez kept on having to reset and was getting hammered. Like,
then he would Conceicao.
Yeah, I say Conceicao. I think that's
Conceicao would rip body shots. He would throw some hooks and uppercuts too.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, body shots.
He would mix those in just to keep Valdez honest. Like, hold on, like, I got this 1-2, but don't come in here like I ain't got no heat with me now. I know you see the 8 knockouts, but hold on, like,
yeah, and
I got some pop in my punches, and it was a good strategy. It worked beautiful for the first 6 rounds.
Right, but when he
I thought he had like 5 of them rounds.
Yeah, same here. Like, but when he started gassing,
at the very least 4. At the very least 4.
Yeah, and but once he started, the second half, once he started, playing around a little bit, I already knew what time it was going to be. Them judges are going to be like, "Oh, you're playing around though," but the champion's actually working. I already knew how it was going to go. Like,
Valdez was working, but he was ineffective a lot of the time. So this is where I fucking get mad.
He was still landing on more occasion than Conceicao was when Conceicao was playing with the food. But remember, there was times when Conceicao would never touch the ropes. Second half, he's touching the ropes more now.
Mm-hmm.
He's not throwing. He's more posturing, more posing. Like, he literally kind of gave away the fight. Like, you know what fight I thought about after this fight? Claudio Cotto.
Yeah.
People gonna say there's people out there that say Claudio got robbed, and I feel where you coming from. But I felt like Claudio gave the fight away more than he got robbed.
Claudio did give the fight away.
Yeah.
But he had that motherfucker close. He fought Cotto to all the way to the brink.
Yeah,
but,
like,
he had him. I remember that fight very vividly. He had him dead to rights, but he did what he always does, and he just is like, okay, I'm gonna just put my hands in my pockets and not fucking do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And Cotto knew how to box and get on his roller skates and move, and he controlled the last couple rounds and won the fight, won a close one, but he won pretty clear. And I felt like Valdez kind of did that, but
I don't think Valdez won this fight at all. I'm sorry, I don't think he won the fight.
I did, but it was.
I could see a draw or a Valdez win close.
Yeah, like one, because I had like a 115, 113 type of score. You know, and there was a bullshit point deduction too. So it was like 115, 112.
And see, the point deduction kind of fucks it up too. Like it's kind of hard. Like if Conceicao had a better second half, the point deduction really wouldn't have mattered like that.
Right, exactly.
At best, you could say like he got a draw.
Yeah, but one thing it wasn't was no damn 117, 110. I'm sorry,
it wasn't no 117.
Nah,
it was more of a 114, 111.
Yeah, or 113, or 114, 112, or 113.
Yeah.
Something around that, or like 115, 112 at the absolute.
You can literally say both won 6 rounds, and then you give, you know.
Yeah, the point deduction will give Valdez.
Not me. I gave Conceicao 7, 8 rounds.
You gave him 8 rounds?
7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what
I heard you say 7, 8.
7. Yeah. Sorry, like 7 to 8. But I believe I gave him 7 rounds.
Because I don't see how Conceicao can have 8 rounds. Like.
It was definitely a 7. It was.
You had a few swing rounds in the second half where I could see how somebody could have Conceicao winning because you gave him one of the close ones where. Because the thing is, what was happening was Valdez would land one good punch in the whole round.
Yep.
And Conceicao would do all the ring generalship, and me ring generalship kind of way more, so I would lean to his direction.
Yeah, there were people that gave Conceicao 9 rounds. I didn't think he won 9 rounds, but
come on, man.
I thought he definitely won at least 7 rounds.
Honestly, I could see the case made for 7, but after that, it's like that's like the niggas who was saying Jacobs was winning 9 and 10 rounds against Golovkin.
Yeah,
8 rounds when Jacobs won more like 7 or 6 rounds.
It was just
Valdez ain't win no damn 8 rounds, 9 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely not. And it was a bad look. And Valdez
barely won 7 rounds. Like each guy barely won 7 rounds to me though.
Right.
Like, honestly, a draw was probably the most accurate call for this fight.
And honestly, and Valdez, like it looked like he was in the fucking quid fight again. Like his face was all battered. He was cut under one of his eyes. Like
Cotto.
Yeah, he looked like he took a real beating, and the offense wasn't all that great for him to be like, damn, this was just jabs hitting him like that. Like what the fuck?
Because his punches weren't hurting Conceicao or moving him like that. Like
yeah. Remember, you don't have no tea this time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. remember how I think that Joe Smith title fight was earlier this year? How
with Vlaslov.
Vaslov. Yeah, he'll be getting boxed up, but then he'll land a 1-2 or he'll throw a hook, and it sends dude 2 and 3 feet across the ring and shit. Like.
Yeah,
it wasn't no type of evening out of the punches in this fight. It was just one guy who was boxing and busting the other guy up, and the other guy kind of just landing a good showy 1 or 2 punches in the round, and then another guy kind of falling off a little bit, and the other guy picking it up, and that's this fight.
Yeah, exactly. So Valdez, I mean, all the goodwill, obviously, on top of the T shit, all that goodwill went. I mean, and you were like, oh, he was bothered by all the shit that he's the villain. Like, yeah, bro, like you shouldn't be fighting. What did you expect? Like,
you shouldn't have had the fight at all. You failed the test. You should have been suspended. But your fans,
really,
yeah. So, yeah, that too. But and his fans, gave him all these excuses. Man, fuck that. I'm tired of him with these bullshit fans. Give him all these excuses for that shit.
Yeah, and then Reynoso didn't say shit, and his camp didn't say shit.
And that got me mad. I'm like, what? Like Reynoso should be trying to clear his name because now you're looking bad. So why aren't you saying anything? Because now everybody's looking at like this isn't just a Valdez thing. Everybody's looking at Reynoso and saying, okay, well, I don't know what's going on in his camp. It might not just be a Valdez thing. It might be a Reynoso thing. So he should have said something to at least try to clear his name.
Fighters test positive.
Yeah.
3 fighters on the 1 trainer, like that's a lot, bro.
That's a lot going on. Like I mean, there have been trainers that have been fuckery, fella. I know we give shit to Abel Sanchez for having this fight as lose all the time, but even Sanchez didn't have fighters failing drug tests left and right. They just lost left and right for the most part. You know
Well, so that's the thing. All these coaches, all these trainers, they get a little losing run. Remember, there was a time when Freddie was losing a bunch of fights.
Hell yeah.
There was Virgil Hunter was losing. I mean, you know,
Robert Garcia was losing.
Robert Garcia had a time when he was losing.
Yeah. So it's just like Reynoso, like and obviously, you know, we went through this with the WBC, like, you know, they have a lot of interest in that.
He just got the juice right now, where, you know, his fighter's not losing, like, you know.
Right. But it's gonna catch up to him. Like, I mean, Valdez is at 130 now, and I've always said that Stevenson could beat Valdez,
easily. I always thought he could easily beat Valdez. When people were telling me
at this point, Herring could beat Valdez. Like, Valdez has never been like some unbeatable. Like, honestly, Burchell looked more unbeatable than Valdez.
Yeah.
Tonight's performance is the reason why we all picked Burchell by fatality.
Exactly, and most people
brutality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Pilot says too. Yeah, based off that performance, Valdez probably loses to the winner of Shakur Herring. He probably does. Yeah, if it's the court, absolutely.
Only the loser, maybe only the winner, maybe the loser too, nigga. Shit.
Yeah, shit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You know, but yeah.
I think he's food for the top guys at 130.
Well, luckily 130 is not the most stable division, but he can be easily upset though. He runs into the wall.
He has too many performances where we're debating where he won or lost or had a draw or not.
Yeah, and we had this at 126. At 126 we discussed, you know, how he struggled against fighters he shouldn't have. Now at 130 we're doing it again. So
motherfuckers gave Jermaine Taylor, you know, flack for always getting these 115, 113 types of fights.
I mean, that was annoying. That was annoying, bro.
Yeah.
God damn it, that we gonna give Valdez that work too. Fuck all that shit. At least Taylor was fighting them all-time greats and Hall of Famers. Shit, Valdez is fighting motherfucking them, just regular contenders and doing life and death. So y'all gonna get on Jermaine Taylor. Fuck that. Like, I hate it when people was getting at him for that shit.
Yeah, but overall though, it was definitely a good watchable card. Like, you know, I didn't feel no regret. I didn't feel PO'd. It wasn't mid, you know, which was, you know, thank God for that.
And I didn't feel like we got a bad decision, just a bad scorecard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I disagree.
I don't like niggas playing with their food, man.
Yeah, neither do I.
Especially when you winning and you got all the advantages.
Yeah.
That shit just irks me. Like,
yeah, like if it wasn't for the play, if I actually thought Conceicao wasn't playing with his food, I'd be a little bit more heated. But I saw that shit. I was like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that against a champion with that type of backing against him. It's not going to work.
Like, shout out to my nigga Keith Soprano, because he said the same thing. Like, he thought Conceicao won, but he could see why Valdez, you know, got it, because he did see, you know, dude was playing with his food. Like, he made it close in the second half again. Like, he fell off.
Yeah, he did. You know, but I mean, hopefully, I mean, it's something that Conceicao can learn. You know, obviously, you know, then maybe, you know, just maybe improve his late round stamina, because he hadn't gone 12 rounds before. That was another thing they kept on saying. So like, it's a part that he can improve on. Like, I mean, you know, so.
And then remember, Valdez puts pressure on you for the whole fight, because we know he has power. The whole fight, he could knock you out.
Yeah.
So boxing on that ability and be wary of everything, and then never, you know, going the distance before or those many rounds. That's a lot of pressure. So
it is.
It affects,
honestly,
pressure.
This deserves a rematch, really.
Yes, run it back.
Yeah, and I'd support it too, definitely. And
I'd rather see a rematch than he getting the winner of that other fight.
Yeah, hopefully he's not, he's just not taking a special tier or anything like that.
Yeah. Get this man, put this man on testing like right now. Like,
yeah, I'm saying, like,
that whole camp need
he needs
Reynoso.
he needs to do everything to show that it was a mistake, and he needs to get tested all year round. Like, at least the one thing I know we get on Canelo for it, and rightfully so, I understand. But at least Canelo did everything in his power to show that I'm not like that, and now he gets tested all the time, getting the hair test. Like he went above and beyond to try to prove his innocence, whether you want to believe it or not. Valdez needs to go that hard.
Yes.
Innocence meaning he didn't know that he ate some bad shit.
Yes.
Oh, okay, because the fact is he failed.
No. I understand. I'm saying he went hard to prove that it was like his innocence and that it was a mistake.
Yeah, I get that. Like he did.
Mm-hmm.
But
but overall it's a good
he's still
card.
a fucking cheater.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether he unwittingly did it or knowingly did it, and Valdez, same thing. They all gotta eat it. Mm-hmm. At least Canelo didn't end up fighting when he did it. And more people are looking, like there's more information and shit coming out now, man. Like I seen a video Bruce Wayne put up the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It showed like detail. It goes into all the bumps on the damn 6-pack and all that shit. Like,
yeah,
he got the photo of Andy Ruiz putting a syringe in somebody's ass. Like,
what?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, yeah. Like
what the fuck?
Dude, check out his shit. And you know me, man. I recognize real. I shout out anybody or I'll whatever. But yeah, I think the last couple videos get some shit like that. Yeah. Dude,
yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that, because motherfuckers injecting something in your butt is never fucking a good thing.
Yeah, ain't no damn vitamin shot. That's for damn sure.
I mean, I seen it with my own eyes. It's a picture, like Andy Ruiz and some random dude, like. But yeah,
right, that sucks as fuck.
But it's a lot of suspects. That's the whole point. There's a lot of suspect shit over there, man. Like, and it's like it's not a good look. And
yeah,
you might have to investigate the whole camp at this point.
And it's crazy because, and like, I don't mean to take it there. I kind of do, but like we give like fans, the same fans that are defending Valdez gave flack to other fighters for even the thought that they might be dirty. Imagine if this happened with Tank or Spain. These motherfuckers would go ballistic. Yeah. Ballistic.
Oh yeah, for damn sure they would. That's not even a thing.
That's
why ring game exists, because we keep it hard. Like we go hard on everybody. Like pause. Like we go in on everybody, man.
Yeah, and
it's serious. It's the hurt business. Like you putting your performance enhancers to beat somebody else's ass up, like, possibly kill them. Like,
yeah, and like I said, and speaking of suspects, and all that type of stuff, this is a good segue into the